Come on, dig into that soul, Chris. Come on. Show the motherfuckers that you want this right now. Show these motherfuckers that you get it. Dig. There we go. There we go. There we go. Make them combinations fast. Come on. Trust in your speed, son. He got that killer instinct. He know what it takes to get it done.
4 minutes.
That's why it's easy training with him, because he trains so hard.
In terms of my training in my camp, I love combat. I love testing myself.
What's the word, Chris?
Did some cardio earlier.
No, Wednesday we got 12 rounds. 12 3-minute rounds.
As Chris Eubank Jr. hones his abilities under the close supervision of his renowned father, Chris Eubanks, the atmosphere within the training camp is electrifying. The father-son team is combining traditional grit with contemporary accuracy in preparation for the long-awaited Benn rematch. JR's preparation is being shaped by Eubank Sr.'s signature discipline and mental tenacity, making this camp a masterclass in legacy and atonement.
This is my first full camp in Dubai. I've actually, I've wanted to train out here more consistently for a long time. It's the perfect environment. The gyms are amazing, the nutrition, the food, the sun. As long as you don't get distracted with all the distractions of Dubai, I think it's an amazing place to kind of focus and hone your skills in the fight world.
See it. No, no.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Work the roll.
The energy in Chris Eubank Jr.'s camp is high as the rematch between him and Conor Benn draws near. After a brutal 12-round battle, Eubank Jr. declared a unanimous victory over Benn in their first meeting at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in April 2025.
To get into this fight and find his range, but find his range he did. They just exchanged the rounds one by one. Eventually Conor Benn looked like he was slowing down, but he found a second wind and managed to take it back to Chris Eubank Jr., particularly just with really aggressive punches. Chris Eubank Jr. working the body, Conor Benn trying to find that knockout punch. It was chaotic, a barrage from both fighters in those final few rounds, and so hard to call. On the fan scorecards, it was level, 114 to 114, and no one could separate these two. But you heard it there, Chris Eubank Jr. wins, and not only does that on unanimous decision, but does it to inflict Conor Benn's first ever.
Out of 912 punches, Eubank Jr. landed 367. Based on CompuBox data, Benn scored 215 out of 593. Eubank Jr. won even though he was the elder and more physically exhausted fighter. But Eubank Jr.'s weight loss and dehydration problems caused serious worries. He was fined for missing weight by 0.05 pounds prior to the bout and was admitted to the hospital as a precaution. Eubank Jr. is now the clear favorite going into the second bout, determined to put Benn down this time. Chris Eubank Sr., his father, continues to speak with pride and caution. Although he is making amends with his kid, he has openly questioned whether the rematch should take place under the same circumstances as the first fight.
Weight drained, they put a rehydration clause in. They fined him some £500,000 for coming in, 2 ounces over the weight. It was reported to me by Lawrence Lustig, who is a very famous photographer. Junior wasn't even sweating at the end of the fight. Dehydration. These rules are in place to save my son, to save the lives of fighters. Unfortunately, the reporters, the journalists are not doing their job. They're not holding them to account. Gareth Davis, do your job. Simon Jordan, you speak on boxing, do your job. You are not credible if you let these things happen. What you are is a jester. As I said after the fight, Conor Benn is an extraordinary fighter. Fighting at 156 or fighting a fighter at 160, he doesn't get back down to 147. And if he does, he's not the fighter he could have been. They are dangerous, they are reckless. If the Boxing Board of Control don't do what they're supposed to do, which is to block fights from happening which do not abide by the weights and the rules, You are baboons. I'm not a baboon, and I know this life. I've gone up to cruiserweight, fighting Carl Thompson. Watch that fight. Both of them, where you're watching one man who is almost twice the size of me. So it seems, I say this sparingly, seemingly killing me. And it looks like a fight because the smaller guy, me, has heart. And nothing is going to stop me. No threat. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to put a picture up of my eye. It looked like my eye was pregnant, giving birth. That's these promoters pulling me into a fight that I need for the money. So I say, no, I'll do it. But the Boxing Board of Control is not supposed to allow that to happen. So now when I speak on it for my own son, people say, oh, well, you know, he's overreacting. I'm not overreacting.
The atmosphere at Chris Eubank Jr.'s training camp is somber, focused, and polished in preparation for his rematch with Conor Benn. Eubank's preparation over the previous few weeks has focused on fixing the issues that hampered his initial meeting. He acknowledged that his will and experience were just as important to his success as his physical prowess, and he now plans to turn that into a more powerful performance.
What that session involved and the benefits for him.
We call that the Xbox, 6 different stations. You got 3 coaches, you got 3 different obstacles to push you as far as your power shots, your speed, your slipping, your rhythm, your sprints, your endurance on throwing your power shots and stepping over. So we usually do that once a week to push the fighter, and then every week we go up.
Pick it up. Keep pushing. More. There you go. Almost there. Come on, let's go. Come on, kid. Give it up. Come on, go. Come on, keep it up.
Eubank Jr. is training in Dubai, putting an end to outside distractions and devoting himself to lengthy sparring sessions and conditioning exercises. He affirmed that his father, Chris Eubank Sr., will mentor him during the training, even though he will be by his side as a source of support. Eubank often fights 4-minute rounds with only 30-second breaks, which is a step forward for both his physical stamina and his tactical consistency under fatigue, according to his sparring partner.
Full camp in Dubai. I've actually I've wanted to train out here more consistently for a long time. It's the perfect environment. The gyms are amazing, the nutrition, the food, the sun. As long as you don't get distracted with all the distractions of Dubai, I think it's an amazing place to kind of...
A juniors reunion with seasoned coach Brian Bulak McIntyre, the same instructor who helped Terence Crawford achieve unquestioned status, indicates that Eubank Jr. is determined to dominate the follow-up rather than merely duplicate his first triumph. In a straightforward statement, McIntyre said, he already got his number. Prior to the rematch, McIntyre lauded Eubank Jr.'s approach in the gym, pointing out how he trains so hard and has a sincere desire to win. McIntyre also stressed that, in contrast to previous camps, this time the preparation has full concentration and attention.
We just keep grinding, to the next fighter.
Did you get to make it back over for the victory parade?
Yes,
or
definitely we had to come back for the parade. That was beautiful what the city did for Bud.
how was that? Yeah, because we've even seen other fights before where there's been a great turnout, but this looked like a whole new level, and so right, it should have been.
I can imagine probably close to 1 million people there. I would think, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Crawford's obviously enjoying some well-deserved time off, but has he spoken to you any more about what kind of next steps would be for him, what he wants?
No, not yet. We talked a little bit yesterday, but we didn't discuss anything about boxing. So we just making sure, I was checking with him, making sure the gym was going good, the kids was getting a good workout, and we're putting on another show for our up-and-coming fighters. So, he's working on that, and while I'm working with Chris.
Working with Chris, exactly. You are back working with Chris Eubank Jr. You're with him for the rematch against Liam Smith. How did it come about, you coming back into camp with him for this one?
Well, while we was finishing up with Crawford, Chris's guys, they hit me up maybe a month out and asked me would I be, interested. I told them, of course, right away, because I felt like that me and Chris got a good repertoire together, we got a good relationship, and we come out with good